Hi folks, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. This is going to be your week ahead reading for week commencing the 27th of October. Exciting, so it's our Halloween week, or Samhain week. First of all, I just wanted to do the same thing that I did last week and reflect a wee bit on last week's reading. So I'll put that on an image on the screen there for you. Really difficult to get a picture where I wasn't making a stupid face or doing something inappropriate with my hands, so this is what we've got. We make do with what we've got. So there were a couple of reflections I had about my week. So my week was really intense, to be honest. I had a lot on, so it was a full week of work. My normal job, my day job, my 9 to 5 as it were, but on top of that I had a lot of students. I tutor, so I had a lot of students, and it was we were just back after our October week, so it was like it went from the week before being only one student to full on I think 6 tutorials altogether, which is after my usual day of work. On top of that, I did 2 tarot reading markets, one on Friday there and one today on Sunday. So it has been a busy week, which I think is probably like why we've got that 8 of Pentacles setting the tone for the reading, and maybe why it's in reverse, because there was so much on, and like bringing in those those cups cards, that kind of a head in the clouds type energy that both the 7 and the page are bringing in. It's probably just because of my head's been so, there's been so much on that my head has been in the clouds. I've not really had time to stop and process things. And I suppose same for all that swords energy. The only other thing I was reflecting on was today when I was at the market, I did a talk on tarot reading. I actually recorded it, and I'm hopefully going to be able to format it and put it up on the channel so that you can see, but we'll see how I get on with the whole formatting and stuff and whether I can make that work. But I digress. I really overthought it. I was really nervous before, and I was really overthinking it to a point where I was really questioning myself, which I think is why we're ending. We've got that 8 of Swords for the Sunday card, because I was almost overthinking it so much that I was creating this whole, like, I don't know, I was just making it, expecting it to be to not go as well as what it did, but it did go well, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm so pleased that I did it. So that was our reading for last week, but now we are on to, as I say, 7 weeks. So the decks that I'm going to be using this week, I thought since it's 7, it would be rude not to. Seasons of the Witch, the 7 Oracle. I've also got the Ari Wisner Find Your Own Way Oracle again. And the tarot deck I'm going to be using is Poppy. I don't have the box handy for this, although it is up there. You can kind of see it up on the shelf there. It's Poppy Palin's Everyday Enchantment Tarot. So, without further ado, let's pull a wee deck from the 7 Oracle to get us started. So for the week ahead we have intuition, and let me hold it up so you can read it. You hold the answers, you know the truths, ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. So behind the doors of the mind, so it's more on that overthinking, isn't it? We need to connect to our intuition. We need to connect to our kind of that deeper sense of knowing. We all have intuition, and we all have that kind of a deep sense of like that deep knowledge base, that well of knowledge within us. And I think this week potentially is a really good week for connecting to that, for trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, and giving it maybe a bit more credence than what we normally would. the card that popped out when I picked up the cards there was Strength, but it's in reverse. So that suggests to me confidence, you know, dealing with confidence issues. Maybe confidence in our intuition. Let me zoom this in just a smidge down here so as we can actually see. Can you read that there? It's not the most clear, is it? But we will make do. Okay, let's do a wee bit of this action. Okay, so Monday. Oh, so this is our Knight of Blades or Knight of Swords. Tuesday, Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is coming up again. That came up for last week. Wednesday we have our Knight of Cups in reverse. Lots of Knight energy coming out. Thursday, Page of Blades. Nine of Wands for Friday. That can go there. The Sun, but in reverse for Saturday. And Ten of Wands for Sunday. Okay. So we definitely have that intensity coming through with the Ten of Wands. We need to watch ourselves and make sure that we're not working ourselves too hard. Obviously it's important that we create the abundance that we desire, that we want, and that we do work hard for it. But sometimes it's just as important to know when to stop, when to take a rest, when to delegate as well, when to ask for help and delegate a task onto someone else. Not everything. We need to not get ourselves into this, if I want it done right, I need to do it myself mentality. If we're going to be truly successful, we need to know when and what to ask for help with and what to delegate. Okay. It's funny, we've got 3 court cards coming up in the in the kind of a first half of the week. So we've got the Knight of Blades and the Page of Blades. And we have that Knight of Cups there, dead centre. Okay. Midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, let's watch how we're relating to other people. Let's watch our interactions. Let's just take a wee bit more care of ourselves than what we normally might. It might be that there's some difficult interactions there coming up towards maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time. We've got our Knight of Cups reverse, we've got our Page of Blades reverse. So Page of Blades suggests to me like the Page of Blades or Page of Swords is like he's nosy and he's mouthy, and you know the sword suit is all about information and knowledge, intelligence, but the pages are a wee bit immature. You know, they've not quite worked out all the subtleties of their suit. So the Page of Blades can sometimes come across a wee bit of a gabshite. He can come across as a wee bit nosy or gossipy, and when he turns up in a spread like this, it makes me think of like you know, words being said that maybe lead our feelings to being hurt a wee bit. Okay, and that's kind of almost reinforced by the Knight of Cups on one side and the Nine of Wands on the other. So we actually see someone who is injured here, and it almost looks like the people around them are pointing and laughing. So there's definitely some hurt feelings midway through the week, and I just want to make sure that we are really protecting ourselves. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here and I'm not doing this in sequence, but as I always say, I tend not to read this spread in sequence. I tend to dot all over the place. We started on the Knight of Blades, so it's almost like we're this kind of a energy, whatever's going on here. It's like it starts with good intentions, it starts coming from a good place, but it almost feels as though, like, so with your Seven of Cups, that can sometimes be about, you know, being under some kind of illusion. Maybe we're not seeing things the same way as other people are seeing things. So we start good. We start with the, you know, with the thought, the reason, the intelligence behind things. The communication is good. Although she doesn't look like she's having a great time, does she? But it's like very quickly as we get into things, this cloud of illusion comes over the situation, and the way that I'm seeing it is different to how the other person is seeing it. And very quickly it leads to a bit of a breakdown in communication, a bit of breakdown in the relationship there. So what can we do to protect ourselves from that? Well, for one thing, trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust your inside, and remember it said await behind the doors of the mind. Okay, so the mind is the door to everything, but sometimes our mind can like if we try and overly rationalise things, try and overthink things, it can almost block us off from that kind of a deeper sense of understanding, The other thing to comment on there was the sun coming out in the Saturday position, but I think kind of a weekendish towards the weekend. So we're feeling, the sun is a card of positivity and we're feeling good. It's nice to have good positive feels, especially on a Saturday for me. My birthday's Saturday coming, 1st of November. So it's my solar return, which could well be one of the reasons why that sun is popping up. What I would say about the sun being in reverse is sometimes we need to be careful of toxic positivity, okay? Not all negativity is bad, not all positivity is good. And sometimes I think that we can get into a bit of a place where it's like we're trying to put on that positive, happy vibes face, and it can almost come across as a wee bit toxic sometimes. Okay, or maybe not so much about being toxic, but it can be quite surface level. Do you know? So if we're feeling the vibes, if we're feeling happy, that's great, but don't feel the need to put on a happy face to satisfy other people. If people can't take you at your worst, then they probably don't deserve you at your best. Is that the expression, or is it something like that? So bit of an intense week. Let's not we're not going to kid ourselves. Let's definitely make sure that we're not taking on too much, taking on more than we need to, and let's just maybe be careful about our interactions with people. Let's be a wee bit more conscious about how we're interacting and the things that are hurting our feelings. Let's just give anything that leaves us feeling a bit hurt, give it a bit more time than what you normally would. Give it a moment to settle down, and then look at it again once the sting is out of it. Remove the emotion from the situation and look at it rationally. Okay, let's wrap things up by pulling a wee R8 Wisner card. Nothing defines you. Nothing defines you. So nobody puts baby in a corner. No one can put us in a box. Do something to surprise yourself. Do something a wee bit unpredictable. Do something this week that no one would have seen it coming. No one would have expected it from you. We have the butterfly there, and we also see it on the sun card, so I'm feeling weekend for this. But do something just to shake things up a wee bit. Something that's quite surprising for you. Alright? Something even would surprise yourself. Take yourself out your routine. And yeah, just freshen things up. Put a new spin on things. Okay. That, I think, is us for this week, folks. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Please continue to be amazing and leave me a wee like. Leave me a wee comment if you're watching these and these are helpful for you. It's really, really good for me to know. Have an amazing week. Look after yourselves. Take care. And I will see you all later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.